great. It's fine. But I still think there's going to be a few teams today that joining the Legends stage late are going to get caught off. And this could be one of those games. I think I still lean with Big, but it'll be close.
Well, we will find out, ladies and gentlemen. The first game of the day, at least on this side of the equation. You do have the A stream as well. It will be Big versus Team Vitality. It's a difficult one to call. You can see the rosters there as we head into Mirage. It will be a CT start for the German organization with Vitality on their T side, and that's a nice... We're good. All right.
It's a speech jammer test.
It was just a nice little test. I did. I couldn't really process that at all. We have 3 smokes, though, for Big to process. It looks like we have the standard steps jungle smoke where we want towards spawn as well. The flashes will be dropped over as Zywoo to lead in, as all 4 players for Vitality head towards the bomb site. It's going to be Zantara to challenge with that P2000.
Godby still back towards CT. Good shot. Takes out Zywoo immediately as he crosses over. Bomb will be planted by MBK in the meantime, so Godby goes aggressive again from CT, but smoke down late. Post-plant smoke. They saved one for that. It's going to make things a little more difficult. Now, the advantage to Big on the retake is that simply armor. The ability to take the fights. Apex and Alex both without. Still an aid and a flash for Alex to work with, and that aids RPK as it came over from A-Main. He's got the shot. Apex goes down, though. Taps him with the headshot. All onto Alex. 3 players to face him. Oh, nade on the bomb. It missed. Tabson was low enough. 1 HP that he would have easily been taken down, but then he had to peek, and peeking against 2, it just would have been shot after shot going right through the armorless body, so it is 1-0 for Big.
Well, 3 players survive as well, so that's a convincing victory for the Germans there. It will be Godby to open things up. You can see, I was expecting a smoke towards spawn, but it really begs the question as to what was going on with that 3rd smoke. I assume he went towards connector, as we'll see him retake the bomb site. It's going to be Tabson, one of the key fraggers of the squad. I like the fact they got so many raw, talented players on this squad now. It's going to be interesting. Tizian's normally the anchor, just an outplayer, doesn't get much of a mention too often. He's actually pretty smart and skilled himself. He's not going for the big flashy plays. He's holding bomb sites and making sure he takes one down with him usually, as Tabson opens things up with, of course, that infamous weapon of this event so far, the AUG. He'll be joined by Nex in that department, and a couple of SMGs as well, as Vitality, just to know, have 4 spawn in the 2nd round. Now, we haven't seen an awful lot of this. A lot of T-sides waiting for the 3rd round to get a really decent buy, maybe even with an AWP, with the bomb going down a pistol, but they've gone for Galils and UMPs here, so you can see them in a very slow default. They don't want to give up the fact they've actually bought into this one, so you won't hear many rifle shots fired. Zywoo there with a deagle firing off a headshot, apparently, and there it is.
Zantaras as well, just to note.
Yeah.
You want to cue that little battle up.
That was Zantaras with an MP9, so yeah, he's had his clock cleaned very early on.
Don't miss that throw up, Alex. Got it lined up with the dot. Tabson. He's already out toward connector. Cat smoke as well, if I'm not mistaken, or was that bottom side connector? I didn't see where the second one landed. Just saw the chemtrails. As Godby waits towards CT. Tabson out with 1. RPK goes down. Bomb dropped. That cues in Godby. He follows it up to take down MBK as well. Dropping the bomb yet again, but Zywoo, 2nd 1 dig of the round.
3rd.
And Alex, he did get a 3rd. He got Godby. Alex inside connector has taken out Nex. We snapped away as that looked like the more promising action, but what a fantastic deagle round for Zywoo. He will eventually perish. He goes down to Tizian, who has the HP advantage, a kit armor. He can concede the bomb plant, but an AUG picked up for Alex. He's got head armor as well. You may give him the advantage on this. If he can get the bomb down and actually get some distance between he and Tizian, or just take the fight. Oh my goodness. Might have got away with 1.
Maybe you thought the situation there was expecting a CT flank, but Tizian plays it to perfection there. 2 versus 1 after 3 Zywoo 1 digs come through. Daunting prospect, especially when you got the MP9, but he manages to segregate the 2 Ts and catch them before they can plant as well. They look like they're going absolutely crazy over there. Apex needs to chill out, but it will be a Vitality round going against him, and frustrated, rightly so to be fair. The fact your star player gets 3 1 digs and you're in a 2 versus 1, didn't even get a plant out of it. It can be, oh, they're force buying again. Oh, okay, I'll chill out. It was just a partial buy, I guess. A couple of them, MBK's gone for it. So this is Vitality, some classic French CS here, and they will be wrecked at the initial sectors again. This time it's Tabson, and they're not going to have much money going forward. This could be a 4-0 start for the French. Interesting, they went for this. Maybe a tilt buy. They don't get a plant here, Matt. They are done for.
RPK's got him down.
Okay.
He's got another. Follow it up.
What?
Distance. Zywoo again with a deagle on Zantaras. 2nd time he's 1 digged him. This is becoming a massive problem. Twice that they're going to have.
They're not even waiting for them to play. I guess they thought that round was just tied up completely, and they didn't expect RPK to go off like that. They were very aggressive.
It's scary, though, for Big. The fact that they've given up 2 rounds now with a ton of kills. No bomb plant in the last. I still think Alex should have held the bomb plant. Had the AUG, would have got more money as well for doing so. Obviously, he was trying to win it, so you can't really fault him for that.
Sure.
But retrospectively, it would have helped a lot. If they can get a bomb plant down now this time, too, with the kills that they've had, the reinvestment that they're going to force out of Big, this is a fantastic recovery from Vitality.
They still have a couple of smokes as well, and a flashbang, but unfortunately, ZywOo goes down, leaving the tank with just 7 HP. Doesn't look like it's winning this one. They make it incredibly close again, and have they got enough to force it? They could go... Yeah, you know what? They got the rifles, yep. So it's just MBK that will be hamstrung. ZywOo can even afford the orb, so it's actually not looking too bad with the investments of the previous round. Ideally, could have got the bomb down and have a full array of rifles. MBK might just go for the pistol here, but still, they keep Big on a leash here. So damage being done at least as the buys come through. There are CZ in hand for MBK and as next to finish things off. They get the 3-0, but it's cost them a lot, but still they have the orb in the hands of Tabson. He's got 8 kills so far. Looking to see what he can bring to this major with the sniper.
Oh, I thought they were going around.
They missed a smoke, or was it in? It's in.
It's in late. They threw it from the top side of middle instead. I thought they were going to round the corner. It blinded up as it appeared the model was. I thought they were going all the way around, and that would have cost them not dearly. ZywOo's the deepest in mid right now. He's got a player working out from underpass. In fact, 2, MBK and Alex, but he's got the bomb. So he's got to be a little bit careful of his position. Next won't be able to spot him as he gets that far down the ramp. It's more the window, which is now smokeless. They'll actually put another one there now, and connector that they have to worry about. Zantaras was hoping to get vision. In fact, going to just spray, hoping that he'll catch the underpass players, but can't do so. Next, so much smoke and mid. He's not going to have this information. Knows they're close, though, based on sound spots them. That's all he had to do at this point in time, and he'll fall back. Concedes catwalk, concedes the window as well, though. So a lot of map control for Vitality to try and take.
Well, they pretty much have to go B at this point. 4 players towards shore. There's the flashbang. CT's waiting on the side. You can see Tizian up there in the apartments next to just the FAMAS. He's surely going to struggle at this point. It's a nice shot to open things up, trying to bait his teammate in. There's a low HP RPK in front of him, but Nex is finding kills all over the place. But RPK, they keep fighting back here. In situation, looks like they're done for. They make it winnable at least. And now it's a 3 versus 2. It's Habson on the AWP. Zantara is being removed. He can't seem to get going here. And maybe a round for Vitality as they take the advantage here with the bomb down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Zantaras has had guns 3 times and gone down 3 times. It's not the best for him. Tabson, though, 9-2 now with the AWP. RPK, he pulled it back. I have to give credit to Nex. He got information when there was no one else able to spot inside of middle, fell back, stayed efficient, and found 2 kills inside of the site. It's quite spectacular, but it's all on the tank to pull it together for Vitality. Flash out, it worked. Caught off Gobby, took him down, but got a dink through the wall in the process, and he's got to find the off wall. That's easy. Go, is it? He spotted it. He had dead to rights, and Tabson responds his 10th kill in 4 rounds, and it's Big up 4-0.
Vitality can't catch a break. Big go 4-0 again. So tantalizingly close, and it all falls apart. It was Big again, the opening picks. It looked like another successful round, but then once more, RPK finds kills out of nothing. He makes it to a 1 versus 1, and like you said, this looked like a done deal. He should have killed him, to be fair. Fantastic shot from Tabson, but RPK could have just one-tapped that straight to the dome, went for a little spray, and that cost him his life. And they're going to be able to buy again. They've got maximum loss bonus with this bomb going down. If they just win one of these rounds, they'll break the economy of Big, but so far can't find it. It'll be Zantaras looking to get off the mark out. He's 0-4, really had a rough start, but very early on in this best of 1. But Big do have the lead. But remember, as soon as they lose a 1 round and no one survives, they're double eco for sure. So we'll see what happens here. ZywOo waiting for aggression towards shore. Tabson has got his orb from the previous round, but you can see they're certainly struggling financially with just 3 flashbangs at an HE at the 1 minute 20 mark. They've got next to no utility, and it seems like Vitality are aware of it.
And RPK is having a good start as well. Down 0-4. He still has 6 kills, but that last one's going to haunt him.
Yeah.
Had all day to line it up with the gun barrel sticking through, but smokes to mid again. Apex down below. Maximum loss bonus. And a bomb plant, so recovery now or never. Nade into the connector is going to put Alex on 56. RPK goes hunting. And Tizian this time is the one up on the balcony. Alex does actually win out his duel. So even with that nade he got through. Goes down to 1 HP. But he's got Apex and ZywOo also working in similar fashion toward the A site. ZywOo is actually going to win out on Tapson. Entries this time, it's not recovery mode, it's for Vitality in their favor. Can they assume that Goppy's at Sandwich? They looked at it, they got him down to 19. He tries to do more than just the one kill. Hard to do, but Zontara's now arriving. Gets 2 of his own. And what remains is a 2-on-2, but Alex on 1 HP. Careful with the lineup.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a scary thought.
Well, they'll go for the plan here. Alex
wanted to be sprayed. He could be... Ooh. He had to be careful. Apex as well, even on 56. He could be sprayed by an AUG at that point in time. He's got the kill back. It is just on Tizian.
Well, here we go then. He has no kit, no grenades, and 2 players at different angles completely. I'm not sure how he'd even approach his situation, as he'll have to touch the bomb, hope he can bait someone out, but then where does he even look? At this point, is he going to struggle to even defuse the bomb without a kit? I feel like he's just trying to make some noise now and trying to ruffle some feathers. He might be better off saving the AUG at this stage, or get the AWP from Tapson's corpse, which I think is there. He's going to grab that and go down. So there it is. Finally, Vitality get a round on the board there, a sigh of relief, and they take everyone down with them. We did say that's a huge round if Vitality could win it. The fact that the previous rounds have been so close, it should force Big into the very least a force buy situation or a full eco. Zontaras gets his first couple of kills of the game as well. They don't win the round, but he's starting to get warmed up, and indeed they will force buy here. They're going to see 5-7s at Desert Eagle for Tapson. Next, with the same weapon in hand, and can't really discount Big on these sort of rounds. In fact, they have Zontaras and Tapson. Both very deadly with the pistols. We'll see if they can cause a dent here, but it's going to be a struggle next. Rattling off shots towards middle. Nothing connecting just yet.
Tizian's pushed up aggressively this time. He's not done that so far in the B apartments. I love the 5-7 for this situation as well. CZ's great, but it is limited with its ammunition. 5-7, I think, is very underrated at holding angles like that, where you're potentially going to be rushed or at least see more than one player.
Back to the A execution by the looks of things. Maybe just a contact play. Don't want to telegraph it too much. Get everyone as close as possible. Flash over. And it looks like that will be the case. Zontaro's going to do exceptionally well to get 2. He does manage to get the first, but it's a trade from ZywOo.
Apex already confirming that at least no one's poking out from jungle. They could walk up the stairs, so it's not like it's fully confirmed as clear, but he allows his teammate a bit more confidence working out from A main just in that position alone, and he'll watch top stairs as the smokes go down late. They want them to go down as late as possible because they want to try and get the plant and still have them in position. But you pointed out something interesting, and that's Tizian. He's on a flank. He's at A main. Flashes just went down. 2 players going to have their back exposed. Bomb going to be planted inside triple, already on 3 HP. If he gets caught out right now by Tizian, they won't get the bomb plant. 26 seconds, he's done exactly that, but he's only got 12 HP, and they know exactly where he is. So this comes to kills. Good read on the flash. Molotov's going to be a problem. It's got to spread. Surely it has to spread, but Alex knows he's pinched into the corner either way, and he'll get Vitality their second round.
A little bit scary for Vitality there, but they win the round. That's the most important thing, because it sends Big to an eco at this stage. Tizian's flank could have been everything. Managed to get himself a Galil as well. Denied the plant, but at that point, taken down to too low of an HP. I think if he struck maybe 5 seconds before, he would have had a chance to win the round, but he was detected by Alex, dinked up, and then at that point, couldn't win the round. So there we go. Big will have to just take this one on the chin. They can get a little bit of investment with some upgraded pistols, a couple of PD-50s out of Deagle as well, but Vitality online now at least. This is certainly a CT-sided affair, and the fact they'll get 3 rounds in a row now will make things a little bit more comfortable as the loss bonus starts to rack up. The CTs will get $2,400 each into the next round and should be able to bring out a nice healthy buy, but anything but healthy. Zontaras is going to be dead at this point as the Molotovs come through. It looks like they're just going to be focusing their efforts towards the A side, and this time using a lot more grenades just to flush out any CZs or PD-50s that could be close range and make sure they can get this down as cleanly as possible and make sure there's no stress towards the late stages, which seems to be going very well for them.
Yeah, that's their best round yet. All 5 stay alive. They avoided the reset the previous rounds, and they build up a bank. So very much back in this, and it all comes back to the every kill counts. You say the knock-on effect.
Yeah,
and that's showcased by how quickly Big was broken down on their own money. So 7 rounds done, split the difference. 5 AUGs. That was a talking point in the interviews Jason and I did as well, and there were some interesting answers, certainly. Not everyone was against it as much as some of the tweets in the community have been, let's just say.
It's more of a can't beat them, join them sort of situation, isn't it? If you're just limiting yourself, you don't use the org, and it seems to be such an advantage right now.
Yeah, that's the same sort of, look, it's an exploit and a bug that they fixed, and I get that it absolutely should be removed.
Yeah.
But if one person's doing it and everyone's doing it, it's one of those things. You can sit there and have all the morality you want and say, oh, it's not part of the game to me. Well, you kind of, exactly what you say, you got to join him if you can't beat him on it, so.
Exactly. Well, the org not doing a great job so far. It's inflicted some damage. Apex down to 2 HP in this disadvantage they've found themselves in. It's going to be MBK now, making his way towards the A side. Drop down from the balcony. It did make noise, you can see. Probably absolutely aware of that, but taken down in the process. Flashes towards spawn. I don't think the Seagulls have what it takes to actually win this round. They're dropping one by one at this point, and it's next. Rotating in from spawn, who might also be dropped by MBK at this stage. He'll find a nice shot, but take 50 points of health off. And at this point, I'm not sure there's much Next can do. He's got a smoke, a flashbang, no defuse kit. They know exactly where he is.
Absolutely, they do. Ooh, that's not exactly the best Molotov. It does clear out the corners so that ZywOo knows he's going to be on the left, so easy done at this point in time. Not quite. He was moving around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's one of those PUBG moments where you get the Car 98 lined up. They just happen to move a little bit. Frustrating.
Apex looks fired up now. He was very upset in the first couple of rounds, and now he looks like he's super ready for this stage of the meta. Like you said, the first game was actually a really big deal. If you can get a 1-0 going in, not only do you avoid the minor going forward, it also means that you might be able to make it to the next stage, a round of 8, which would be fantastic for Vitality. It's been a really rough start to this project for them. Nothing really notable to speak of.
It's been a slow start. I don't think there was a lot of expectation coming in for them. Certainly within the team itself there was, but when the community saw it, they kind of went like, oh, that's just the French B team, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're proving now that they are the #1 in France. They and G2 both in this stage can kind of argue for that again this tournament, perhaps, but yeah, it's been a slow start, I think, is a better way of putting it. They just haven't been at very many events yet to prove themselves time and time again. They've certainly got the momentum on their side. Now, keep in mind, because this is a reset of the event, if you will, I would like to see, and I'm hoping someone's going to track it this way, and I'm sure maybe HLTV even has a filter for this. We tracked last week, and Cash was the only map that was T-sided. The rest were all CT-sided based on the percentages.
Yeah.
The overall event is one thing, but I'd like to track this week alone. So if someone wants to keep track of that, this week alone on percentage of sides, because now I think we're going to get a lot more of the tactical teams.
It'll be good to kind of get a gauge as to where the game is heading towards, I think. Yeah, I think that's a decent idea to see whether the top teams can fend off the orgs with more ease and work out a way to counter them more effectively. But it is a tactical timeout called for big, just to note. Looks like the boys over at Vitality having a chat as well, working out what their move is for the next round. They know if a pause is coming through, it either means some sort of adaptions coming in, or they are discussing their financial situation. I think it's more the latter here for big, as you can see, well, as I can see, I should say, they've got about $3,000 per player as they reach 4th state loss bonus. They're going to have to take a partial buy here. There's no real decision to be made. Partial buy has to happen. Then it's just what you do with it. A lot of teams are stacking B these days to see if B rush comes in. Bit of a Hail Mary call. Or you can obviously stack A, maybe get a scout into the mix with some pistols. We'll see which way they're inclined. As big head into round number 9 here. Just a 5-7 purchase so far. There are some PD50s. They haven't invested much. That might mean they're planning a double AWP setup potentially. I would be interested to see who gets that secondary AWP. But Tabson we know is the main. Maybe it'll be an anchor player in the Voluntizian to pick it up. That's if they want to go for it, but just speculating at this point. Got to be with the Kevlar. Smoke, he certainly won't be getting up. And 4 players stacked on the A side and pushing the A ramp as well. No terrorist presence there at all, so Santaras will push through towards C-spawn very quietly, but MBK waits in the palace.
He is indeed. He might be... Oh, caught off by Godby. I was going to say gifted a kill, but nope. They were aware of it. They'll take the AK-47 as a result. That's a big push to make. Does confirm they had pistols, but Tabson, with those pistols, is going to find ZywOo. They're down 2 men already, and RPK is going to take things back into his own hands to find Tizian, at least, because the AKs have to get to B while it's vacant. Otherwise, they've got problems. With Godby already picking up a gun, knowing that there's one further down inside of middle, could have made things very awkward. Zontara is removed. More spotted at the window. Tabson falls. Godby may even just consider saving that weapon at this point. He is still in the doorway at checkers, but if a bomb goes down without a further kill, You could consider it, except I thought Apex was watching this. They've given up the second AK. I thought Nex was actually just going to secure exits. He actually got toward that AK-47. Apex gave that up, and he's gone down as a result. Now they absolutely will go for it as Gobby gets caught out by Nex, but it leaves them in the open. Nex, he'll follow it up, and they'll get the rounds.
RPK did what he could, but that is essentially an eco victory for Big. They get 5-7s, no armor, a couple of deagles as well, and Nex, who've been wanting to see what kind of form he's in, it seems pretty stunning so far. That rifle play, Gobby is taking a bit of the aggro away, focusing it towards the window as Nex pushed up short. This is how it all kicked off though, and they funneled towards the B side. That was such a great shot from Tabson, but it looked like RPK pulled it back. Remember, they've got no armor as well, so he's just chewing through opposition, but that was a turning point right there, right?
Yeah, I'm so surprised Apex wasn't at least considering that, because it was the only other place that a gun was down at that point in time. And sure, okay, if they both come in the site, you want to be there to trade it, but in theory, until you see that AK get a kill, you don't really need to be dead on the spot. Watch the other one. I'm a bit surprised by that.
Well, it is the victory for Big as they take the lead 5-4. All back out for Tabson. 12 kills to his name so far as Vitality start the probe towards the B side of the map. Just MBK in the palace right now, showing a bit of presence towards A. I assume that's just him throwing a smoke and a flash just to show someone's there. And he'll fall back and hold middle for his teammates if they commit towards the B side, that is. All still up in the air at this point. Zywo waits with the AWP in towards the B apartments. Like we said, Tizzy and the anchor player. Playing those positions, you can just be guaranteed just the one kill, slow them down as long as you can, and allow your teammates to rotate through. It's not the most glamorous position, but he gets it done.
Zywo wants to creep in slowly. We saw nearly 2 force buy wins from Vitality early on, so Big's kind of answering that call. They're up to the task, because otherwise the game was slipping out of control. That's a very important round to win on the eco, and this one's easier. They'll keep all 5 alive, just as Vitality did 2 rounds ago, and now it's them back in the money seat. It's quite an interesting game. It's a bit of a pendulum.
I needed to see that from Nex's POV. It sounded very good from him, but also no pressure at all. You could see he gets his first 2 kills. Whether he was blind or smoked out, I'm not sure, but it seemed like a slow contact play from Vitality. He gets 2 kills, which is perfect for Tizian, who then drops the incendiary. They jump into it. They spray them all down. There's not a single kill for Vitality. So they lose to just pistol, no armor in the previous round, and then a very flat B approach as everyone goes down without a single frag, no plan. And they are going to buy, I can confirm. I've seen an all purchased as they get to the end of their finances here. They're not going to have a perfect situation at all, but it's not too bad. They've got 2 AKs so far, that AWP, as they work out which weapons Apex and MBK will hold. It's going to be a CZ and a Deagle. So not the best situation. They'll take a timeout now to discuss their options. You're better off with set pieces in these sort of rounds because you want the pistols to go in first and at least maybe steal a kill away, or at least get very good comms to where the rifles can then focus their crosshairs. So we are seeing initial smokes being deployed towards middle and 4 players heading towards his A side of the map. The set piece looks likely. Will it be effective though?
Apex sits back for the deep smoke. And we'll go toward jungle. NBK already down middle at this point in time. He's going to try and sneak through with the smoke's down. 2 players with the back turn. They need to be careful. Zontaras. Communicate with Tabson. This is where we'll start to see how much communication within the team there is, because both were looking Palace for a moment. They need to consider that it is now open behind them at connector. Gobby pushes up. Flat. Oh, got him. Yeah. If that had been a foot further, he would have peeked that, no question. And they're anticipating with that flash being where it was, that he might be close. So they checked it, and Zywo nailed it up close to the AWP. It's RPK to follow up on 2, partially blind, still sprays through. And I think they tripped over themselves a little bit, not only with the flash, but just having 2 toward the stairs that weren't really sure where to look. This gets back in, but Apex catches him off. I thought he had the jump on that.
That flashbang defined the entire round there. If Gobby doesn't get flashed by that and he manages to swing off it, he probably gets 2 kills. It was really well timed. Unfortunately for him, as soon as he did get blind, they knew exactly where he was on the other side of that corner. And Zywo and Apex started to go to town as very clumsy from the CTs on the retake there. And they will find themselves in a little bit more of a troubling position at this point. It's going to be round 12, a UMP for Gobby. It's RPK, though, finding the majority of the frags as they always seem to claw back into these rounds. We go 6-5. They have the advantage here as the CTs go aggressive. We yet to see the most out of Zontaras. 3 kills to his name, but he could get one here. Not quite. Alex actually outduels him completely, but it still goes down to the 4-on-4.
NBK around the corner, already checking it. Flash this time. Do they anticipate twice? It's the same flash they wanted to throw last time to get Godby, and they read that. They checked the corner. He's making a lot of noise, NBK, but do they check it this time? Not quite. 2 is going to work for Godby. Smoke, not down. Flames to get away, not going to happen if ZywOo's in position. He won't be able to spot towards CT, mind you, but he is anticipating that tabseN could put himself up on the ticket booth. Either way, he'll hold the angle, trying to get his teammates in farther, but no one spotting toward the top of the stairs, and his head still showing. Easy shot, I have to say. Apex pulls it back. Still, though. Oh, tabseN's got to hit those, because there's no smoke at CT. They could be caught on it. Flash, that puts him off the angle, just enough for RPK to spray in, and he does so successfully, but he won't put tabseN down. And that's when TiziaN works back to Connector, and at Connector, he'll get a crossfire setup, but he's lost his teammate. Now they can play safely, plant the bomb toward default. TiziaN can't do much about it.
Well, he spotted one player towards spawn, so he separated them in that sense. You know, there's a planter and a CT player. Apex, though, on the ticket booth, he scoped in, but it doesn't seem to stop him at all. Nice shot from him. It was a bit of a gamble to jump over and get the AWP, but he successfully does it. Closes out the round. RPK finding kills once again. Godby, like he said, same position. Got baited in by teammates again, and then they followed up the incendiary to allow him to try and retreat. But ZywOo so quick on the AWP, took him down before he had a chance, and this is where Apex made the jump, managed to get the AWP, and then close out the round. It is going to be 6-6, and money should be broken for the big squad. They have got 6k on next after saving a couple of times. He's currently got 12 kills as well, the very top there. 4 big. Next we'll get to Deagle Armor and a flashbang. The rest of them, as you can see, 5.7s, the PT50s. Should be a vitality round, but they've given up to these pistols before. 4 AKs, AWP. And that's still an important one for Vitality. Can't afford to lose this round again. There would be reset. As we continue here, you can see not too much of a stack from either side really. Big will just be playing 3 towards the A side of the map. And they've lost tabseN. That's going to be Apex opening things up. Sontaras, 3 and 11. I haven't seen those numbers from him before. He's usually at the very top, looking very comfortable. But I would say this will be a T side of the affair for him. That's where he can do most of his damage, down the least a little bit. They've had a rough start here. Well, actually, they had a fantastic start at the mid stages where it all started to go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been back and forth, right? 2 rounds ago, we saw a round in hand for Big, and then Vitality answered that call, just as they did having lost the pistol. They may have gone down 4-0, but rounds 2 and 3, they got 4 and 3 kills respectively, leaving just SMGs in the second one. They forced out a lot of money, and it's really been a game of momentum at this point in time, but neither really wanting to give up much. In fact, not wanting to give up pistols this time. It seems Big's going to back off, try and save it. They do have a lurk outside of the vent position. That is Apex, and he's got a kill for his troubles. NBK, does he get spotted by Godby? Pistol obviously was picked up, so that made it pretty easy to anticipate the arrival, but Apex is going to catch off Godby, and it goes to 7 for Vitality. They're back in the lead.
They certainly are. After a 0-4 deficit, Vitality are back in the driving seat. I have to say the coordination not looking as spot on as I expect from Big. We haven't really seen them present anything super aggressive apart from on their pistol or SMG situations. And they go into another round here with TiziaN on the MP9. He plays that B side, remember. tabseN back on the AWP. He is now top fragging with 13. Smokes towards middle. We'll see if we have any sort of change of setup here. We have got tabseN dropping down towards that connector, I'd assume. He actually holds up towards the underpass right now. He's actually in a smoke. This could prove problematic, but he seems to be doing very well with it. Jumping through the smoke again. Taken down, though. RPK continues his rampage here on Mirage. NBK battling in towards the palace area. Just trying to bait out some utility here from the CTs. Showing some presences once again. They're actually focusing more on the B side of the map, with TiziaN pushing through the MP9. He actually manages to get himself right towards the mouth of the B apartments there, waiting for a close range kill. Same story for Godby at the A ramp.
Alex still just holding out, you're right. Godby's been quite aggressive in this position. This time beyond the tunnel. Twice he was at the corner. Didn't really account for that angle though, did he?
No, not at all.
Alex had an easy one. Spotted at his feet and just fired into it. Sontaras wants to get back in. You can even see him close his eyes in disappointment that he was blinded this time. He'll go down because of it, and he doesn't look too enthused. And I think they're backing out again. So it's going to be Vitality on 8. AWP saved for Tizian. And Nex wants to keep the AUG in his hands.
It's difficult to think the Big have only really got a couple of gun rounds under their belt. Remember, they won the pistol and the second up. Poor spy from Vitality. They managed to take that down against Galil's. They were up 4-0, lost 4 in a row, then won with the pistols themselves. So 2 gun rounds in total, and you can see Santares 3 and 13. Odd to see him on those sort of stats, but overall, it is going to be Vitality taking the lead even further here as they get 8 rounds on the board. And it's up to just a couple of CTs here to hold on to the AWP and the AUG. Whether they'll do that yet to be seen. Tizian could be in a spot of bother here as his teammate goes down. They've got time to check him. He won't be able to kill both of them. He'll get one, but dropped, and that's going to be Vitality have a huge advantage here in round 15. They needed that AWP and the AUG as his Tabson did such great work. They find advantages, no problem. It was just such a compromised position there after jumping down towards the underpass of the AWP. And here comes Alex just to take down Zantares, who was very blind in the process. And they won't have much to work with here. 4 MP9s and a FAMAS. Do they go for a push, or do they hold up in crossfires? I would say you have to push somewhere, try and get a kill back, get a rifle.
Gobby goes aggressive. This is the push. The flashes for him have been very unfortunate. Either he's a step further than they anticipate, or they're just not throwing them correctly, because he gets blinded again on a golden opportunity to run around the corner and find 2. For his sake, thankfully, Zantares was trailing in tow, because he got 2 immediately after to even up the situation before going down, but it's still Vitality with the advantage.
Yeah, quite a significant one as well. If you think about it now, this is Big with a lack of weaponry, and their defense has been spread a lot thinner now in an equal situation where the T's can focus on, let's say, the B bomb site with 3 players, and you could actually just have 1 CT with an MP9 try to defend that. That's why it's such a massive advantage for the T side in this sort of map, as we'll see Zyro smoke towards the window.
And it's not even really like you can go for a stack retake either, because you don't have the weapons for it, but there's no kits.
Yeah.
It's not like you can play the time to try and work in as a unit at the end either. So they are going to have to be completely spread out. And you called it, 3 players toward B against 1. That's exactly what we're going to see. Nex is near enough to the window. He can get toward Catwalk, but MP9 at range, it's not really going to work out for much.
Well, we'll see what he can do. They're eradicating risks here, clearing out the van and the close-range positions, but have they accounted for the bomb site here? They certainly have. Zywoo continues to be a menace here on Mirage as he confirms the round in my book. There shouldn't be a world where Tabson and Nex can win this without any utility or kits up against 3 with the weaponry they have. It just looks like a very unlikely procedure, but that is a great play.
Yeah, great read. As soon as the flash came in, he knew what it meant. They have this. They could push this. MBK's not in a great position. He's got 1 on either side. As soon as he faces behind, Tabson wants to pounce, but he knows shortly that MBK's considered that. He nearly got away with it, but Nex holds on. We're going to have an 8-7 half.
That's huge from Big. They shouldn't have won that round. Vitality with a massive advantage in terms of the firepower and manpower as well, but somehow it will be Big to defuse the bomb without a kit. It is going to be 8-7. We split it right down the middle. A nice lifeline there for Big right at the end. It's good to post a round like that at the end of the half, and that's exactly what it is. We'll take a break and be back with the second very shortly.
Bumper in 3, 2, 1, go.
We get back underway at 8-7. Vitality in the lead, having done so on the T side, which is interesting to note. And now they'll start off on the CT side with seemingly 4 players ready to battle. RPK has, okay, he's going to do the same. They got 5 sets of Kevlar.
They absolutely do, meaning no kits, and 5 players heading towards the A site for Big. It's Zai with a challenge. He's been finding every single kill so far. Doesn't seem to be slowing down as he absolutely eviscerates them at the A ramp there. It's going to be 2 remaining players for Big, but they're not going to get the strong start they had in the first half here. Absolutely not. At this point, it's just a question mark whether they find a kill.
That's a fantastic play. Great read. I was about to point out as well that 2 players had smoke on Big, so they wanted to go for an A execution. Hey, Vitality seemingly understood that, bought all the armor, got straight in their face, and shut down the A site. So 9-7, and this is what we talked about, Big, coming into this. A lot of teams, or a lot of people, I should say, in Pick'ems, probably not the majority, but a fair few had them at 3-0. You come into the Legend stage halfway through an event. Vitality came into form throughout all of last week, sort of a coming of age in that week to make it into this stage, and now they look pretty hot, I have to say, against Big so far.
Well, full eco for Big. They will be getting AKs in the third, so this is the double-digit round for Vitality. Just want to try and keep as many up as they can. If one player goes down, actually won't hurt them too much. It means they actually get an extra rifle against the AKs, as Apex try and farm some cash with that sort of mentality in mind. Ideally gets 2 there for the extra cash. That's $600 in the bank. They should still win the round hands down. Tabson goes down to 1 HP, just to know. So incredibly close to getting $1,200 there and a couple of kills. But not meant to be. At this point, they'll probably be a little less aggressive.
Just to note as well, MBK's only got 5 kills, but Vitality doing the heavy lifting. He's not necessarily the star player, certainly is a protagonist on the team for many reasons. But Xantaras kind of is on the other side, and I think he's only got 4.
He's got 5, I believe. He's got 2 that last round with the MP9. They got his numbers up a little bit. But he was 3 and 13, yeah, 5 and 15 now. So Glock only, probably not going to be increasing that number anytime soon. As he'll be dropped. It's up to Next now. He's actually causing some damage here. A couple of kills in your full eco isn't the end of the world, and Tabson very far removed, but it gives him a chance to chat about the next round coming up. He'll see if he can use his HE at all and find a frag, but at this point I think he knows he's dead. We'll just throw the nade in and hope for the best. Waiting to see if he'll get intel, anyone close. Chuck it in. Not giving anything here, really. He doesn't blow himself up, that's cool. There we go. It will be a reasonably successful round for Vitality, considering up against Glocks. Losing 2 is a bit of a pain, but overall, like I said, they can actually get rifles now as they go into round number 18, the AKs, and a Krieg for Next, just to know. Now, that's a weapon that we didn't see as much of in the previous stage of the tournament. We saw plenty of Orcs, that's for sure, but not many Kriegs, and they've got a couple of them. It's got B and Next. Maybe they've got an inkling as to whether this will be a new meta going forward as well.
There's some talk about it. The popular consensus is that, given the rate of fire on the AUG is actually very similar to, if not identical to the M4, that the Krieg has such a different spray pattern and firing rate to the AK. It's a little bit more difficult to learn, but also that the AK has the 1-shot potential still, right? So you're not going to get as much of a benefit from it. But there were a couple of players talking about, if you want to play the angles game, if you want to get out the Krieg, you can certainly play it right back on some of the entries.
And if you're a player like GotB, for example, holding flanks and making sure you're positioned correctly, that could be a fantastic weapon. But there's Xantaras again struggling as he goes down with no real damage inflicted. By himself, not flashed in, just challenged with the AK, and he will be dropped in the 4-on-4 now. 1 minute remaining, Tabson. He's got connecting control. You see Apex holding the pallet. It's a very strong position for the CTs to hold as RPK suspects activity towards connector. Looks like the A player will be coming in. They got 2 players at A ramp and at a connector as they throw in some smokes now. RPK reads it well. Takes down Tabson, one of the main fraggers of the squad. It's up to Next now to find his second on this Krieg.
Galil on the opposite side of the spectrum for Tizian. And they'll push the A site. Oh, trying to push out RPK. That was intended actually to go to Shadow. So that won't give him any movement, RPK, though, because they've got either side of it covered off. They don't have Palace, and Apex shows off how powerful that can be. Ooh, Gobby, careful. This is where the Krieg, at range, perfect. Headshot onto ZywOo all the way through. Connector to Catwalk, and next takes down Apex. Bomb planted just for that extra little bit of money, but 8 rounds for big.
Yeah, scrappy round, but they get it done. It's the Krieg's actually proving to be very successful there, especially that shot from Gobby towards Shaw. You could see he could take his time and just tap away and make sure it was a clinical headshot there. After the initial kill, we thought Vitality would have the advantage, but Gobby and Next pull it right back. The 2 players of the Kriegs get all the kills, as it will be the first round and a half for Big here. They've actually shut down the money pretty reasonably for Vitality as well. They are going to force. They've got 1 rifle in the form of an AUG for RPK. The rest of the players are either an SMG or pistol. There's 3 CZs out and an MP9. They have no kits and bare bones utility. So Gobby is playing a very passive, like I said, holding angles, waiting for pushes. Krieg's the perfect weapon for that, as he'll be seeing if there's any opportunities at the start of the round. Santares waiting for the A push. Got taken down in the Palace last round. This time Nex is there.
Three in middle, or soon will be if Tizian elects to go all the way down. Heard a smoke, though, toward the B apartments, and I think that encouraged him to go back up and just see if he could play the pick game on it. He's flirting with the idea, but meanwhile we go back over toward A, right on board with Zantares, going against NBK in the corner. And there's still no real commitment from this. 54 seconds, bomb still in spawn. That smoke goes into the B site toward window. And Tizian certainly heard that they've already used his smoke defensively inside of the apartments, so maybe he's hoping that they won't be able to slow down the rush. The problem is they haven't dissected the fact that there is 3 inside of the site. Great crossfires. Alex even inside of the flames, able to run out of them based on the smoke that's positioned by the truck. This becomes a bit more of a problem. 26 seconds, they still have to go. Jumping Zantares, thankfully will get one when he hits the ground, because he could have easily been taken down while he was trying to fly. Remember, they're sponsored by Red Bull now. They've got wings on the big side, but it's going to work out to at least a kill. RPK tries to work back in, AUG in hand. Bomb already conceded, though, at this point in time. And man, oh man, they've made this round extremely interesting. Gobby's got to be almost perfect. 26 HP. Lineup can't find the second, but they give away the information, and he is tagged down to 53 for Next to go hunting on the Krieg. He's lost track of him, but 2 shots from MBK. Now he knows exactly where he's playing from and what his intentions are to play behind the pillar. And Next, with time, starts to dance around to win it out.
Next looks incredibly sharp. Like we said, a lot of players are finding, these days at least, if they find a slump in form, they go on the bench a little bit and work on their individual skill, maybe clear their head slightly. We know he went out for actual physical injury, but it seems like his wrist is looking incredibly strong today. 20 kills and 12 deaths is a huge round of big to pick up. Once again with the Krieg on the T side. We haven't seen many teams approach the terrorist forces with that weapon, and it seems to be working out very well for them at least. And we go round 20 here. Full eco for Vitality. These teams seem very equally matched. Gobby taken down, though. Couldn't really afford to drop that weapon so early on. I don't think they'll lose the round, but still, he gets out-dueled by a USP at that range. It's not ideal. And ZywOo's got the Krieg now. They could lose to a full eco at this point. This is turning into a bit of a nightmare for Big.
Zantares has not performed as we would have expected, and certainly not how we've been hearing things. Teammates were saying leading into this event that he's a top 5 player in the world with a bit of time.
Don't have all that much time here at this stage of the tournament.
Damn, that's the problem. Keep in mind, though, that he's new to this team, but he's not a rookie to the majors.
No, definitely not.
Space Soldiers have been here before. And here's where the Krieg's powerful. I'm not surprised to see Gobby's team, of all teams, being the one to start using this on the T side. Just holding those angles, waiting for the counter peaks. When they rush in, NBK underneath the window gets one more with the pistol. You're right, they could still be in trouble. Zantares got the counter kill, but 19 HP left for him. He's easily in position to get taken out and go down. Thankfully, he's held his nerve, and it seems, I say it seems, they will on the T side. RPK still in this. 4 HP is all he's got to find. RPK with 24. Tizian with it. Excellent aim. 2 kills for him to clutch back the round 10-10.
Wow, way too close, but Big win it. That's all that really matters. They're going to have a struggle of a buy going forward. Vitality of the full eco get it down to a 1 versus 1 there. You saw that opening frag from ZywOo did so much damage to that Krieg as well. I mean, they've got no armor here, and it comes down to that situation. Way too close for comfort, but it is going to be 10-10 and a tactical timeout for Big as they have to work out how they even invest into this round.
And I think this is almost a perfect time for Vitality to even consider a tactical timeout. So they'll take this with open arms, given that their money is, it's there for this round, but they have to be very careful about how they go about things because they know that they can break Big.
Well, Krieg out, got B with the MAC-10. That's actually a very viable weapon in this sort of round, especially if you're going to group up and make execution play towards B, perhaps. As you'll see, there'll be a few players without helmets on the CT side. ZywOo, glass cannon, no armor at all. He'll get ripped apart. The MAC-10 gets close. And Apex and Alex will also be in a lot of danger. The MAC-10 finds them without the helmets, and it will be a B play, especially if you've got that sort of MAC-10 set up. You want, ideally, him to go in first. It'll be Zantares, though, with the AK, trying to perform here, and again, taken down first, as it's up to Godby to try and pick things up. Remember, this MAC-10 will do a lot of damage against players of our armor. There's the first. He can find a second here. He will be traded out in the end. It's going to be a 3 versus 2. Make it 1. Just Tabson remaining, but he's certainly capable of winning these sort of rounds out.
To the op and a 1-on-2 when he has to plant the bomb. Now he's not even going to get to fire it. Alex just pushes in, denies the plant, and it is Vitality to take the round. This is money gone now again for Big. That's a bold call, I have to say, from Tabson. You'd think maybe even a fake plant with a smoke to your left and then see if he pushes in, but fair enough. He committed to the plant either way. May not have made a difference.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him. Certainly had time to play with there. Straight for the plant, was hoping he could steal that away and then win things out the AWP, but back and forth we go. Vitality now with a huge upper hand, and there'll be no force buy from Big. Just the eco here as we get into round 22. This is going to go the full distance. We said we wanted a 16-14 game. It looks very likely at this stage. We'll see who comes out on top. I'm not sure at this point. Vitality certainly have the upper hand in this round. Should be going 12-10. But the objective for Big at this stage is get that bomb planted. You can see it will be RPK with a grenade, probably an incendiary in hand. As soon as Alex starts firing from these boxes here, he presumably gets 1 kill, but you've seen the incendiary come through, and it should be quite the cleanup. Here comes the incendiary.
Yeah, Southern jump over. Nice shot. Tabson, the incendiary is down, and you can see the damage being done as they walk in. It gives ZywOo a shot. He's got taken out by Tabson too. 2-1 Deeks. We're still in a 3-on-3. Guns aren't really grabbable yet. They've got to clear the corners of the site, try and wrap around on RPK, who ran out of ammo. Wrong time to do it because he was in a perfect position. Thankfully, Apex is in the right place at the right time, but it goes to a 1-on-1. 2 rounds between them. That's going to limit the money a little bit further for Vitality. Also gives Big a chance to get back into it. Tabson's already bought, and they're... Well, I mean, that makes it obvious they're going to force at this point, but they could have maybe held for 1 more, because now if they lose, they look at 14 rounds on the board for Vitality.
Well, next we'll have the MAC-10. They've got Godby with no grenades. They're going to have to go. They can see, like, this will be what we call a flash attack round. It's when you go towards the A side, 3 players towards a palace, 1 smoker spawn. You flash over as much as you can, and they just get the hell out of there. It's Godby to open things up, though. It's a surprise tactic. Zantares, that's more like it. They take a lot of damage in the process, but they are finding kills here with the AK-47s. It's up to Apex to bring things back in Vitality's favor, and that's one hell of a shot. The 1 bang with the AUG as he continues to find kills here. ZywOo that arrives at the scene of the crime just in time. It's going to be 13-10. It looked like Big had that one tied up with the opening kill.
Apex got 1 kill with a bullet he shot the second, maybe less than that, before he was blind, and the second one he was fully blind and had the crosshair placement already there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it? It's 23rd frag. RPK with 26 as well, and ZywOo gets there just before they can plant. I like the approach from Big. You can see it worked out. Zantares hits 1 hell of a shot. They weren't expecting such a fast play, and they had limited resources there, but it doesn't work out, and now they're down to Tech 9's BD50s. You said if they lost that round, they were in a lot of trouble, and they found themselves there, right here, as they'll have to try and win this one out with no armor and basic grenades, and taking a bit of a nuke towards middle. That's going to be Godby and Tabson down to less than half.
NBK considering Palace, because Apex can't watch it. He's busy holding off Connector. And they'll shuffle further inside jungle, knowing that if one's watching Palace and the other's watching Connector, who's watching A main? Well, no one. So he has to consider the fact that they can be encroaching on that position and try and wrap around. Good flash. Apex Still somehow got away with that. I thought that was going to catch him out as well, but Gobby goes down. And Gobby might have been partially blinded by that as well. So team flashes for Gobby this game have not really been something to write home about, considering he's your tactical leader and designs a lot of these plays. He's going to be a little bit annoyed by that, I think.
I think you might be right.
4 kills for Apex in the round. It's now 14 for Vitality.
Update on the A stream, Renegades versus Ents. They are completely splitting the difference as well. It's 12-11 in favor of Ents right now on the T side of Inferno in the second half.
If I'm not mistaken as well, that's number 8 versus number 9 in the rankings.
I think
there or
might be
thereabout.
Right. Let's have a look. I've got it here. So
yeah, they're right beside each other, so that would be the middle. Yep. So that, and Ents slightly ahead of Renegades, even though Renegades actually beat them in the Challenger stage.
That's true. This is a bit of a rematch, isn't it? That's why I thought it would be match of the day, that one.
Yeah, well, and it's proving to be. I mean, they're dead even in the ratings and dead even in the score.
There we have it. Zantares. 11 now, starting to find more impact in the second half. His AK-47 is where he does his best work as he smokes towards the connect, and then he's surely going to try and get in there. Smoke goes down from window. Needs to be very careful of the swing from Apex here, which is coming in. The flashbang's decent, the shot's even better, and that's Zantares going down with nothing. Really well timed there. It's a great play from the CTs. Good time flashbang, exposed player, clinical headshot, as RPK delivers another. It is going to be round 15 unless Big can pull something magnificent out of the hat here. Molotov means they have to go through the window together, and they're already taking damage. It's RPK who will be dropped, but you can see he set his teammates up so well here, but great shots from tabseN on the low HP. He might be to keep the dream alive here as he gets another. 2 versus 2 now. How have they done this? It looked like the round was completely over. Decent execution towards B. The smokes towards the pillars will buy them a little bit of time to establish themselves in the post-plant situation. tabseN on for the ace as the CTs begin their retake here.
Next, oh wow, found by MBK already. Usually a good position to hold the window from. tabseN's taken that information though and counted it off. And he's left unpunished to go against the op. 4 kills. This would be an ace for tabseN. And he's looking like he's going to get it as well.
Definitely.
ZywOo is going to go for the bomb. That gives tabseN all day to find it. Bomb might deny him of it. Now that he's spotted, he actually will get taken down, so not quite an ace.
No, he hasn't got.
I was going to say, he doesn't have the time on that. No way. I was going to say that'd be a massive mistake. It was close. It was extremely close. But tabseN wasn't going to give that up so easily. So it is the 11th round for Big. Keep in mind, to start off Challenger stage, we had, I'm sure of it, a record-setting amount of team kills on day 1. But probably a record-setting amount of aces on the day as well. I think there was something like 6 aces on the first day.
6 aces. You're absolutely right. tabseN, though, that wasn't supposed to be a big round. That was Vitality all day long. That was a 4 versus 2. They head towards B, and somehow, even with 30 points of health, he wins out the round with 4 kills. Call it a 5th of the round victory as well. He took down that CT with a bomb blast. As we get into round number 26, it will be ZywOo nailing the jump towards short. More difficult than it looks as he waits there for footsteps and trying to dodge the flashbangs as well. He actually pushes past the smoke now. You can see Big, even after winning the previous round, still have 2 SMGs here. So they need to win this round before we can talk about a bit of a comeback here, as they all have 3 players, including the bomb, waiting at A ramp. And then we'll have Zantares and tabseN, your 2 main fraggers of the squad, together in towards that underpass. This is the fragging unit here. This is where the damage will be done. They'll head towards Connector and crack open the site before their teammates make their way through.
2 underneath. Gives boost potential considering there's no one else at top mid, but if they boost, they've got to be very careful of the fact that ZywOo is right behind them. He spots them, but he doesn't have the ability to be ready. He'll catch the player going to window. Thankfully, he communicated that as well. He did so much damage, Apex just had to walk out and take a shot pretty easy at that point in time. Gobby gets Alex. It's the 2nd kill so far for Big in the round, but they are looking like they are running out of space, running out of health, running out of time in this series. Gobby down to 4 HP, unfortunately, because they couldn't really afford, they had to be perfect almost to pull that back, and he's just going to try and beat them to B, but that looks unlikely at this point as well.
They'll have enough time just about to get there and plant, but will there be a CT waiting for him? I'm not sure there will be. It looks like he's actually done well to even get the bomb planted at least, but this will be a very difficult round for him to win. If he does win it, that's amazing. If he gets a plant, that's enough for at least some weaponry in the next round, because it is going to be the 15th on the board for Vitality. Bomb planted, and Gobby now. He is a bit of a master in these sort of situations. He's certainly not the biggest fragger in the scene, but in these sort of situation where he gets time to think and how he can outplay his opposition, his brain is there. It's very good.
Trouble is, he's put himself in a very one-and-done position. Highly tradable. Or is it? Easy headshot. They're not together. He now has the bomb working in his favor. ZywOo just barely gets underneath the van, and
good try.
He'll pull it back 15-11. You're right. It was a good try.
The fact he gets that even one kill there and makes things uncomfortable, it's enough. They're going to be able to buy next round. You can see there was no kid as well. If he can somehow delayed that for 5-6 more seconds, it might have been a chance there. But Godby, enough for a plant. That's fantastic, I think. The fact they were so far out of this round, he manages to give them a bit of money at least. It's not all done in round 27, but it's not looking good either. They're going to need 4 in a row just for overtime here, as we'll see Big take another tactical timeout. And they've got on average, it's not looking good, around 3K at this point. The very top of the table has got B, of course, with those 3 kills and the plants. He will have $3,850. The rest of them all hovering around 2,200. So a lot of work to be done here. 1 round cost them the game, and that will be Vitality going 1-0 here. Remember, they started 0-4 Vitality, and they've brought it right back.
Yeah, they have. Absolutely. And this is a challenger team taking on a legend team and potentially getting the win. Avoiding for Vitality the minors at the very least. Obviously, there's a much bigger goal at stake here, but that is certainly something that in the future they'll realize is worth it.
Oh, yes. A execution. Smokes over, boys. Send those pistols in. Got B with the rifle. Now, that is when you've got Tabson and Zantaras there, presumably you'd want them on the rifles, but this is the way they've probably practiced, and it's the way they're going to play. Godby had the most amount of cash. He keeps the rifle and allows his stars to use the pistols here. Zantaras, to be fair, 11-25, not playing up to that star potential just yet.
No, this isn't quite what we would have expected from him at all. Still has 72 ADR, which isn't tragic considering.
He's had a lot of damage. He'll have lots of one-on-one duels. The problem is he'll get 90 damage in, but he loses the duel from what we've seen almost every time. So that hasn't been what we're used to seeing from him.
Smoke's already down at mid and B. It looks like the split is the call, but Alex easily already standing on catwalk. Double smoke behind him. He's limited from the site, but he just easily can cover off catwalk with the scope on the AUG. ZywOo still inside quad watching first window. Has a player at bench in the form of RPK as well that'll play off of him. First shot goes his way. Second one spraying in. Massive damage. RPK adds to it. Alex has Godby, and it's done. 16-11 for Vitality, and they look pumped about that. Rightfully so.
I think so. That was actually a very good performance from them, especially in the second half. They managed to get off the 0-4 and look very efficient in the gun rounds there. It seemed like they weren't really under pressure at any point, especially towards the end of the game. They had a real huge upset with the reset towards the end after winning 4 rounds in a row.